another episode in the kitchen, Cook Up Atlanta Live Hip Hop Daily. But this episode is a little special, man, because first of all, my guy, we got to high five it, dog. We got to high five it. Man, this guy go back to the college days,
yes,
man.
Sir. Yes, sir.
To the college days. Introduce yourself to the world, man. Let them know who we talking to, brother.
You already know what time it is, man. This your boy Wiggles. Real name Trey, but yeah, definitely go by Wiggles. Wiggles a DJ, Wiggles entrepreneur, Wiggles. That's it, Wiggles. WIGGLES.
Word, man. And the Wiggles Network. Tag your network, man. That's
yeah, Wiggles World Network, home of the unwarranted but necessary opinion, man. Dope person interviewing dope people doing dope things. Hey, every Monday, 7 p.m., man. Facebook Live. It's your boy Wiggles. That's the page, man. That's how you follow the network.
So, first of all, brother, we met in college, I'm going to say around 2009.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Me and this guy really know each other. So this is before I even thought about any of this. But imagine if this was while we was in school. Let's just start the conversation from there, brother. Like, imagine if podcasting was a thing when we was on campus.
So it's funny that you say that, man, because in my opinion, I started doing radio. That's how I got my start. So doing radio, WASU, Real 92.7. Shout out to DJ Trip, DJ Hollywood, man. They put me on, man. And shout out to Gus. Gus was the guy who actually was like my, what you call it, the person that shows you the rope and teaches you what's supposed to happen, right? So showed me all that stuff, man. And so I think, had we thought about doing interviews like that at that time, the way we do it, which is, in my opinion, like podcasts now, I think we would have been, anything with internet, social media, man, had we really understood the gravity in which, we can pull things and put things together, we would be on a whole nother stratosphere.
Whole different stratosphere.
You know what I'm saying? And then even doing independent radio, man. Yeah. It's so much. 105.5.
Whole different stratosphere. I always say that a hustler on the ground back in the day would kill any hustlers from like the 80s and the 90s in this internet era.
Yeah.
It's too easy.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking from the college days of before the internet, from we throwing parties together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just being an entrepreneur in college or just a hustler. You know what I'm saying? You're part of a fraternity, you know what I'm saying? I know you want to talk about it on camera, but just being a part of a fraternity, being like the person to structure and being a leadership and just like Wiggles on Albany State campus, like for the people that's going to see this interview to know, like, you was a name on campus, you know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that, man.
I'm just being real, whether it's from something structured, something fun, or just anything, you know what I'm saying? So you kind of like always knew you had it.
Right, so speaking of that, you know what I'm saying, coming from an organizational standpoint, man, my goal was always to be the best, right? And so when it comes to social organizations, to the core, we're all one and the same, really.
Right.
And so the other part of that being a social organization, you want to have the dopest, the flyest, the hottest, the coolest, the most popular, you know what I'm saying, the most appealing, the most attractive guys in your circle. And for me, just understanding that in order to be the best, you got to have the best. And you got to do the best things. And I never forget, man, when I first got on the campus, man, I went there. Shout out, man, to, all of the Sigmas on the yard in that era during that time. And I went to a meeting and I had this report, so to speak, of like the resurrection or reconstruction, you know what I'm saying, the blue and white, and I'm like, this is what we need to do.
I remember that.
We need to go to everybody's event.
The resurrection and a lot of stuff.
Man, we need to go to everybody's event, see what's happening, see what they doing, see what people like, what people don't like, and then from there,
you always had that leader perspective.
Right.
What made you what made you feel like you had to be the person to have that? Like, you know what? Because they ain't going to do it, or...
Well, honestly, before I went to Albany State, man, I was back home in Hinesville, and I knew Rashad Abad, and he had his own entertainment company as well, and he used to always talk about the Capitals, like, the Capitals got this, and the Capitals got that, and they doing this, and they doing that, and so for me, I'm like, bro, if y'all recognize this, and they had heavy hitters, you know what I'm saying? The Sigmas had heavy hitters, in my opinion, and I think they were just, maybe... cool with being independently heavy hitters
because it's a social organization,
right? And so for me, I'm like, the only way we can really run this junk, man, is if I got to take the Capitals out. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect, but that's what it was.
Yeah.
They right
competition.
They were top tier, top level, man. They did have a lot of heavy. They had a lot of heavy hitters and well-to-do guys, man, who were in a lot of different places. And I'm like, the only way to really, really, you know, beat them is to, how do I say, take advantage of missed opportunities.
Correct.
And so for me, back to the question, you know, why did I feel like I was the person? It was just because of those conversations with Rashad. It wasn't like I was like, well, they ain't doing it or they don't want to do it. It was just like, I'm just going to take this initiative and I'm just going to run with it, man. And I did. And shoot, not even a year later, man, we were running the yard at the city, honestly.
Seriously. I always say that in any lane, it always has to start from something, whatever. I don't care what you do. You know what I'm saying? You can go be a mailman, you can go be a boxer, but the drive always comes from something. You know what I'm saying? And it's good to see that it came from that, man. Like, you know, it's hard to go out there and do and believe in your sacrifice and your passion every day. And but to see something like you said, like I interviewed a guest one day this week, and he said seeing things in tools. Once you start seeing that confirmation, and that verification, it just works.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And so for me, it was confirmation, affirmation, man. But it was everything for me is about results, right? It's about results. And so even when you don't get that confirmation, or even when you don't feel self-affirmed, man, just knowing that, hey, this is the goal, and then seeing that outcome. So for me, knowing that I was able to take, I mean, because at the HBCU, man, and I'm going to be honest again, Kappas, Qs especially, and Alphas, man, like, they just nationally have this notoriety at HBCUs, especially in the South. They just have this notoriety. So for any other organization, man, I feel like you just got to work 2 to 3 times as hard or 10 times harder than them just to be socially relevant. And so, again, it's all about outcomes, man. The first goal is to go to these events and really just show out and show off, and we did it. Then it was about the biggest feat, really, man, was throwing a homecoming party against the Kappas. They had the Grown and Sexy, and
that's national,
right? And we did the Blue Juice Pajama Jam. And honestly, bro, a lot of people don't know this, but we were at odds with each other, like the Sigmas. They were at odds with each other because some people like, They were like, hey, nah, bro, like this event is too stable. We're never gonna win. And then others of us were like, nah, let's do it, because one, the State Theater can't hold the whole campus, and everybody don't want to dress up.
Right.
And so, man, it started. Shout out to Club Escape, man, Tim. We held that event there, man. And shout out to you, bro, because you're the reason why I even went to Escape.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out. You know what? Let me pause real quick, man. Hey, because first of all, man, I said before we got on camera, man, Live Hip Hop Daily, man, this podcast, this platform, man, you're global, man, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're global in my opinion. And I started out it was at the time Downtown Live, and Larry Love was DJing for me, and then he
came in
and then you went up to Club Escape, started your own thing, man, and then you put me on there, man. And you didn't have to do that, but you did. You didn't want to take all of the money or the notoriety by yourself, man, and you pulled me in, and from there we had a space to do what we wanted and what we needed to do, man. And so I think that's the other thing about leadership, man, knowing that you have partners out there, right? You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like Wiggles all by himself. Visionary, yes, but having other people, having other brothers, having sisters and friends, man, we're like, hey, man, let's do this, let's do that. And then again, going back to that outcome. You know what I'm saying? So for me, results, for me, it's all about results. So if I say, hey, I want to do this, and then it's done, okay, boom, let's keep maximizing that, but then let's go on to the next thing.
That's real, man. And it's all about that. When you have that network and you know people are going to support it, they just want you got to keep it fresh, keep it live, keep it entertaining. And I think it's dope, man. Like you were just talking about being in the physical space next year. That could be something that people have New Year's resolutions. We could be speaking into existence right now.
Absolutely, man, because doing my show live with it's your boy Wiggles. Shout out to Keishantel Wise, Keisha, man, OASU.
Keisha been here before.
So she actually was doing a show on my network, Wiggles World Network. I got to keep plugging it. Wiggles World Network, Facebook.com/ it's your boy Wiggles World Network. You know what I'm saying? You got to check it out. But she was doing a show on the network, man. She was getting the people, and it was called Tell Me Something Good. And me and my homie Eric, we were the host of the show. And so once we stopped doing that, and a lot of other shows on the network kind of started falling by the wayside, I was like, bro, I can't let this network die, because I know what it is that I want to do and why I'm doing it. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to do Live with It's Your Boy Wiggins. I'm going to just start interviewing folks. And so, man, we booked up like every Monday until Christmas.
That's
No Monday, no Monday. I put out. I used to, and so now I just kind of like just throw the flyers out, man. But like so every Monday 7:00, man, I'm interviewing somebody totally different from different areas of life, different walks of life, different perspectives, and so to the point though, you know, with the network thing, man, like I just wanted to be able to catapult people, you know what I'm saying, who may not ever get a certain type of light, a certain type of respect or whatever it is, and just put them there, man, and then let them advertise to people, because I think that, again, that's what I did. I saw that I could do it with Sigma, so I feel like I could do it with anything.
And you never know what somebody's gonna like. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You never know what somebody's gonna like, and to be the person to be, it's like a initiator. You know what I'm saying? You got the stir. It's like a pot of gumbo or whatever it's like a stew, a soup, and you know you got the base, like you say, but you bring in people from this walk of life. You brought me in for an interview. You know what I'm saying? You brought in. I think I seen Sierra's interview. I seen her interview. You brought in
every social workers, therapists, DJs, counselors, educators, entrepreneurs. You name it, right? You know what I'm saying? You name it, because again, I think when it comes to our culture, Black culture, we need to make sure that we are well aware, of what's happening in our community. Again, so everything is about opportunity, man. So it serves a dual purpose. You know, sometimes just to put people in that light so that everybody can see what's happening, but also to give other people opportunity to see how they can help or how they can be engaged or how they can get services.
Right. I'm glad you said. I'm glad you said that, because sometimes people feel like it's feasible when they see somebody that they know doing it versus just watching TV.
Right.
He say, she say, but somebody that you texting in your phone every day, or somebody that you write a message and you see them doing, like somebody that's accessible to you, it's more believable.
Nah, for sure,
it's way more believable. Even from this interview, like I'm gonna hold myself accountable that we both share and repost this. I'm gonna hold myself accountable.
Yeah. Oh,
you know
yeah.
Because I know, like, it's a hustler's perspective. Like, I know, and we got the same mutual network, so it's going to get the looks, it's going to get the views, and we see Wiggles and Larry sitting on the couch together. So it's about, like I say, people, when they see accessible or people that they know doing things that they thought about, it makes it easier for them. Like, you know what, I should go think about doing that.
Bro, that was going back even to the statement that you said earlier, like just walking in this space, and I was like, yo, bro, like versus doing like virtual interviews, right? Yeah. Like being able to have a place or a home for people to be able to come and say, man, I'm finna sit down and talk with Wiggles. Like it's something about that interaction that's totally different versus like being, you know, on that live stream or Zoom or whatever social media outlet that people use to do interviews and talk. You know what I'm saying? Like,
do you actually feel a difference?
Oh, nah, totally. Well, bro, when I just walking in and you come here, man, I wish everybody could really like see what's happening.
A lot
of
people don't know what it is off camera.
Bro, like like I said, I feel like this was, I said it earlier, and I don't know if I've already said it on the interview, but you know, I've just really gotten familiar with Drink Champs like over the last year or so. Yeah. But I've known you've been doing your thing for a long time, and so I felt like this was Drink Champs before Drink Champs. You know what I'm saying? And so to come in, man, like again, and then being in Atlanta, and then like in the heart of Atlanta, my mind, right? Like real Atlanta. Yeah. So like, hey man, I need y'all to come here. We finna sit down here. So like you said, first of the year, man, that's a goal. Like, man, what's it gonna take for Wiggles World Network to really have an in-person sit down and you know what I'm saying?
You to believe do it and set it up. That's
right. Like, yo, like we need to do this, because I feel like people would actually come in and take time to sit down on a couch or a chair or wherever, man.
You'll be surprised. We interview like a lot of people from labels.
Right.
And they used to go to radio stations all the time. They go to radio stations, hotels, whatever situation. So when they walk into like this, they be like, man, this shit is dope. You know
it's incredible, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And we talking about people that be in $1 million facilities. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, once you kind of got that belief into, we can go sit in the back of a goddamn car shed, you know what I'm saying, and turn this shit. So it's just, you know, you turn that vision into it, man. And like I said, you just follow your vision, man. But it takes other factors around, of course, like
for sure,
location and just you know, anything, bro. You know, I mean, a hustler. You know what I'm saying? Once you're a hustler, you take anything and turn it into something.
And I think our best resources are people.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I listen to a lot of different interviews and entertainers and comedians or actors, but especially artists. Yeah. Those people who are like, I hate to use the term self-made, but those who had like started in like poverty or the drug game or whatever, and now they're like multimillionaires or billionaires. these people, like, they're with each other literally all the time. Like, even people who have multi-million-dollar companies and franchises. Like, I was watching a documentary on Netflix, and one. These college guys, man, dropping out of college, you know what I'm saying, to put an idea together, and they making it work. I think, again, like, when you have a team of people who are, like, waking up and they're grinding together and they're putting their resources, their money together, people putting money together, putting ideas together, and then manifesting something much bigger, like, that's literally what it takes. And I feel like I got the people, man, we're just in different spaces and different places. Right.
The difference is between us as grown men and a kid or a young man straight out of college doing it is priorities. That's the only difference. Like, coming straight out of school, you have, not to say that I'm not, talking bad, not to little boy anybody. I'm not trying to little boy anybody, but you have less priorities
for sure
coming straight out of school versus being out of school for 10 years.
For sure.
You may have, families come involved, kids come involved, new ventures come involved, so is your livelihood. So it's just different.
Livelihood definitely being number one, though.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's just the only difference. That's literally the only difference. It's priority level.
Yeah, but I can imagine waking up to this, like, every day and, like, what's next? Who's next? Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And had something like this.
Yeah,
would
man.
Have been millionaires by 30.
Like I said in the beginning, man, like, had I had the thought to turn, WASU into this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or being at 105.5.
And playing on every college.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
like,
go to Zoom or go to Instagram Live. You know how many schools have been showing? So that's why I look at things that, man, we just going to get there. We're just going to get there in a different way. That's
And because it's definitely never too late.
Never too late. Dope. I took this interview as an entrepreneur interview, man. Like I said, we've known each other from college, just friends in college to DJs now. Shout out to Albany State Homecoming that's next month. We're on the same ticket together.
Yeah, man.
Albany State Homecoming. And it's always full circle, brother. You know what I'm saying? Especially us as black men. Like, I think it's an ego thing in a lot of in any person. But us as black men, I think it's just a little more sometimes.
You always want to be the best.
It's crabs in the bucket mentality. But, you know what I'm saying? Not to say that no other race is like that, but with us, we're just a little more competitive. We just a little more,
survival
with it.
Yes, survival. But for me, I think anything. I just posted today, man, shouting out my sister. Right, she was graduating, and for me, I think is if we stop focusing on winning so much and really just focus more on, like, being able to be steadfast and being able to just holding out and holding on and staying strong, man, and realizing that there's strength in numbers and strength in unity and those things like that. Like, or that first place mentality, you know what I'm saying? Like, we would do a whole lot more.
We would do a whole lot,
We would do a lot more and accomplish a lot more, man. And I think that's been a part of my minor success because I don't mind working with whoever wants to work, man. Like, yo, let's work. And then if it doesn't work, then it don't work.
And you're going to get to that level when things don't work and do work, but you also going to get to that level where you're going to value your, like, they got to be working just as hard as me.
Absolutely.
Because, and I'm crazy. I'm glad you said that because when we first started doing this, I used to be, let's just interview anybody. We just need content. You know what I'm saying? But this was before content was a thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And not that I was just gung-ho, but I had the same idea. I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be a DJ, to come from a DJ booth and sit down and interview artists, you know what I'm saying, interview whoever, and that's, so it's good to see things in full spectrum, bro. I think it's good for the soul, too. It keeps it motivating outside of money,
absolutely, man. This is one thing that I think that I've always wanted to be an entertainer. You know what I'm saying?
It always been in you.
Yeah, I've always wanted to be. I've always wanted to be an entertainer, man. Like, just growing up, man, hearing that, man, you gonna be the next Will Smith or Martin Lawrence or Eddie Murphy, and so, like, I've always had those inspirations, man. But coming from the country, I'm from Riceboro, Georgia, and so not everybody goes to college, so they don't know how to direct you into the right paths, right?
That's what you're exposed
you know what I'm saying? And so when you don't know, like, hey, maybe you should go to a theater school or arts school or something like that, man, versus just going and, like, let's find something that's about money. Finding something that you could actually do and not get paid for. Like, it's cliche, but it's real.
And it's no different from guys that grew up in the inner city because that's all they know inside 285. They don't know nothing outside of 285. All they know is city, hustle. So it's the same kind of concept, but once you get exposed to something like a college, you get the chance to get out your comfort zone. You meet other people from other different places. Your mind get bigger.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
It's exposure and evolving.
Yeah, DJing actually did that too, man. Because I didn't want to be a DJ, but
and we could talk. Before we get off this camera, bro, what because anybody can know music, but you like you said, you always want to be the entertainer. So that I guess I just answered my own question. It's hard to be out in front of a crowd. First, you gotta get to that part of being out in front of, looking at heads of how many other people. So what made you want to, like, what was the encouragement? Like, you know what?
I was pushed into it, so to speak, man. And so my first gig was 11 years ago. My cousin got married September 10th. I think it was September 10th. And so being a radio personality. So being a radio personality, people automatically assume that you are a DJ. And so when I used to do those first gigs in Albany, DJ Trip. He would DJ, you know what I'm saying? Because I think by that time you had already gone. But DJ Trip, he would DJ and I would just host. And then people started being like, nah, like, no, we want you to DJ. We don't want to pay for a DJ and for you to host. And I'm like, but like, Trip is like it. So one day, man, my cousin was like, hey, man, I want you to DJ. And I'm like, man, I don't got nothing but like a laptop. I don't got nothing else. I don't know how to do this or whatever. So virtual DJ, I think you put me on to that at the time, calling, asking, you know, these different questions. And so I
started on virtual DJ too.
I hadn't even switched, man. I tried Serato, man, but virtual DJ just allows you to play different media files. I got some old files,
every DJ had virtual DJ in the cabinet. Trust me. And I've been DJ for 17 years.
So definitely virtual DJ. I tried Serato, man, and maybe I might get back into it, but that's how I got to start, man. My cousin needed a DJ, so it kind of just started with weddings. Doing those weddings.
Started making good money.
And I was like, bro, I would never do clubs and those things and college parties because I don't really want to do that. I really want my personality, so to speak, and I wound up doing clubs. And but that's how I got to start doing. So now,
that's a good start, bro.
What drives me is being able to ensure that people have the greatest time when they get married or reception or reunions. And so that's really the drive, man. Not even trying to be the best DJ, honestly, because I don't think that I am the best DJ.
I see radio approaching you, though, for some odd reason. I can see radio approaching you, and that's because you did it before. So have you ever got that approach from radio or FM, the FM side of things to, hey, let's bring Wiggles Network to, you know, how.
Man, hey, look, hopefully after this show right here, man, somebody be like, yo, that dude has a radio voice. Let's get him on. But, you know, I again, going back to the start, I have to shout out Steve Hegwood, Jamie J. So they heard me playing around on the radio station 08, summer 08, you know what I'm saying? I was sneaking into campus, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna send this interview to Steve. Man.
Send it to Hegwood, man. And he gonna talk trash, man. But Hegwood, good people, man. He put me on, and at one time, I think that he would have given me another chance and opportunity, man, to do it. And if I could, Savannah, 93.1. I had an opportunity to be on there, man, and it was two candidates, man, and I got. Somebody else was chosen over me, man, but I was told that I was like the candidate, but it was a homeboy connection, and so that's why they got it. And then they wanted to put me on, but like you said earlier, man, I wasn't finna let nobody little boy me, man. I had done radio for years, and then like, man, I was working at the YMCA at the time, so now I'm a senior program director, and I'm making money. So like, bro, y'all not gonna give me no chump change and so
that wasn't your plan. That probably wasn't your call it anyway.
Man, you know, sometimes just cause I love the job, sometimes I'm like, man, you should have just did that jump.
That's passion.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you should have just did it. But other times I'm like, nah, man, they not gonna try me, not no sucker.
Hey, man, you know one of my favorite quotes is, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plan. That's one of my favorite.
You know, and so if it comes back around, Atlanta, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? Any big market, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you want to bring Wiggles Road Network to radio, man, I'm definitely the guy that's going, you know, I'm going to outsell, oversell anybody. I'm saying it right now. Whoever your favorite real artists, real names are, I'm going to do it better than they do it. I'm telling you.
Now, you definitely personality. And you've been, like I said, once you can see somebody do it in physical form, internet, radio, all that shit is easy. You know what I'm saying? That's easy. Once somebody can pull, and I definitely seen that with my own eyes. But before we leave here today, man, my favorite question, man, not question, but favorite statement, any encouraging words that you can tell, because you used to work, like you said, you work with youth. They're going to see this interview. The ones that think they cool, that want to be like, whatever, any influencing words for the high schoolers to the young black kings?
I would simply say, man, put yourself in an environment where all you have is yourself to depend on. And so, so it's not even like, you definitely have to depend on God, right? You know what I'm saying? You want to have your circle of trust and influence, you know what I'm saying? But I think most people never really make it to where they really want to go because they never really have to totally and solely depend on themselves. I think the most successful people that we see in the world and that we don't even know are people who are like, if I don't do it, it's not getting done. So any young aspirant, man, in any field, in any realm, or any older person, man, like, I think that until you put your own back up against the wall, that's what I did, bro. Like, I was a teacher 4 years, man, and this was my last year teaching in this May. I said, I'm finna go ahead and I'm just finna do it. So whether it's Southern Hospitality, shout out to my best friend, Bo Braxton, man. We got Southern Hospitality. We do events together year round, man. And whether it's that or it's DJing or it's the network, I'm gonna ride it out, man. And that's it. You know, like you said earlier, man, you know, tell God, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plan.
Right.
I do believe, though, that we do have to present God with something.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
So
right.
It's a catch-22 to making him laugh. It's a catch-22 to making him laugh because at least we're showing God initiative. Like, man, God, I believe you've given me something or put something in me, and so now I want to put it to work. I want to put it to use, and I don't want nobody else to really capitalize.
I ain't never heard that. He just switched my shit up, JV. Now I gotta think about my shit, you know. But I like that. That's real, though. That's real.
You present something. I mean, the Bible tells you that. You know what I'm saying? Present something to him, man, and then you know it's like having an editor or having somebody proofread your stuff. Like, all right, here you go, guy. This is what I want in a year, 2 years, 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. And he be like, okay, I see you. It's good, but we're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make it happen. So and also my last name, man, you have to be willing to go the distance. You mentioned something about hard workers. I won't lie, man. I got a team of different people, man, and sometimes I feel like they outwork me. Cause I'm really slow and calculated, man. You know what I'm saying, and sketchy a lot of times. But I got some hard working people, man, who are definitely dedicated and committed to the brand. Wiggles wore Network. It's your boy Wiggles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wore this because I just wanted people to see the brand.
No, that's
you understand what I'm saying?
You're a walking billboard.
Yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying?
You're a walking billboard. But that's when people see you like that. That means they know they have a breadwinner. It's just about the breadwinner knowing that they are the breadwinner. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm the same way, bro. I am the exact same way. I'm sketchy about people I work with. People got my partners, my team, my cameraman, even right here. Like, they work hard, you know. And when you got people like that around you, it just makes you want to work harder. That's
for sure. You don't want to let people down, man. And I think everybody is like, nobody wants to just get the bare minimum. No one wants to really settle for less than what they know they can achieve and accomplish. But again, going back to that statement, you will never really maximize anything if you don't put yourself in a predicament to where all you got is yourself.
That's real. I like that. And that's a good Sunday school for the Sunday service that this interview is in. You know what I'm saying? Live Hip Hop Daily, Cook Up Atlanta, man. Introduce yourself to the world. Drop your network one more time. Let them know how we're gonna promote this interview. Y'all gonna see this interview Facebook, but let them know who you're. Give me your social.
Again, man, you already know what time it is. It's your boy Wiggles, man. ITSYABOYWIGGLES. That's Twitter. That's TikTok. That's Instagram and Facebook, man. Okay. I am the family-friendly DJ Wiggles World Network, home of the unwarranted but necessary opinion. They ain't asking me what I think, but I'm telling them anyway, man. Man, appreciate you so much, man. You did.
I like that. Until next time, man. You dig. We out of here.